Hi guys, welcome to the MMA UK news. Me, Stoomboy, as always, for the MMA UK BJJ show. So, still talking about Evolution of Combat 8. It's going to be happening this Saturday, the 7th of August. Going to be happening at the Morris Equestrian Centre in Kilmarnock. Promises to be a fantastic event. We've got kickboxing, MMA, and obviously grappling as well. So, obviously, tonight my guest is one of the grapplers that's going to be on. He's going to be up against Aidan Stephen. Aidan Stephen, as we know, Cage Warriors veteran. And yeah, David Sharp went online and wanted anybody. He wanted anybody at all. And obviously, the first name that came up was Aidan Stephen. And Aidan's reply when you said, well, if Aidan's on weight, let's do it. And Aidan sent a picture of him being on weight. I think he's 71.5 kilos. So
perfect, round about the same.
Yeah, but yeah, David Sharp, as I said, anybody that doesn't know David Sharp, as I said, absolute killer on the mats. David's one of these guys. I met David as a white belt. But I met him as a white belt. Obviously, started training when I moved over to Marcus's. He was a white belt at the time. I think he just got his blue belt. And yeah, David's has absolutely progressed through his blue belt, now a purple belt. But he's done absolutely fantastic. You were one of the guys that they had to throw out the gym to keep you out the gym because you were there fucking at 8 o'clock in the morning, you were there at 10 o'clock at night. Do you know what I mean?
Shout out Daisy Fresh.
Yes. But no, David, absolute honour to have you on. I'd say always enjoy chatting with you and even getting some rolls with you when I'm down in Kelly. So how you doing, buddy? You all right?
Mate. Good, mate. How are you?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. So, yeah, how's everything going with you then? So obviously, officially, we're back training, 19th of July. How's the gym? How's it going at Likens?
It's been really good. I feel like before we kind of, like when we stopped up for the pandemic, things were just starting to get going again. So obviously we're just kind of getting the ball rolling again. But tonight was the first night of the beginners class and it was heaving, like absolutely mobbed. You'll see the pictures on Facebook if you've got me on Facebook.
Definitely, and that's the thing. Obviously, I've been seeing some of the classes going on down at Likens. Always love watching the videos and stuff like that coming out of Likens, and we're going to talk about some of the videos. Obviously, your nemesis, your arch rival at the moment, Big Mark McQueen.
It's actually my arch nemesis is actually Bojan. Right, his name. Right. You need to have respect for our arch nemesis. I don't have any respect for Mark McQueen.
Yeah, no, Mark's absolutely solid. I mean, anybody that knows Mark, obviously we get the chance to train with him, and he's an absolute monster.
Yeah. The guy, he's just a complete different level, Mark, to be honest. I really want to see him compete soon and start getting him on some submission-only things and see how he gets on.
Mate, people are terrified. People are scared, man. Where's all these ultra heavyweights?
Yeah, I try to think. What weight's Mark?
Mark's what 125, 130?
Yeah, anybody around that weight, blue belt or above, message Stoom and see if you can get a match with Mark.
Listen, mate, they're all scared, mate. They're all running scared. As I said, Big Mark is an absolute machine. I think he's 20 or 21 fights he's had in competitions, split over like your local comps, the Euros, and he's won all of them and never dropped a point. Never had a point scored against him. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, anybody that's an ultra heavyweight, blue belt, purple belt, or whatever, as I said, definitely give us a shout, man, and we'll definitely get the two of you on a competition and get you all hooked up. So yeah, let's do this, man. Let's get him a fight. So but yeah, talking about your fight against Aidan Stephen. So how did that come about for you?
So I think initially Dan had found me an opponent, but the guy, I don't know the guy's name, he was from Liverpool, and apparently like he didn't realise where the venue was and he was having trouble to travel up and stuff like that as well. So like they were still kind of trying to find me an opponent. I took it into my own hands and posted to see if I could get anybody. I feel like just before we kind of stopped competing and stuff like that, I was starting to be able to compete a wee bit more and start to get like a bit of momentum, and it's kind of thingy. So the last thing I really wanted to do was sit out again. I'd rather just take a match.
Yeah, definitely. And then Aidan Stephen, as they came along, I know Aidan was a kind of similar boat to you. He was trying to get on Evolution of Combat as well, but obviously they were struggling to get someone for him. So he was sitting there waiting. So obviously when the opportunity came up for him as well, he jumped at it.
Perfect.
Obviously, I know Kev McAloon mentioned his name, and that was it. It was on
Yeah.
from there.
It'll suit them as well if Kevin's on it as well. It's the same kind of idea. We've got Jack and Shawnee, so it means we're all going at the same time.
Definitely, definitely. And that's one thing, especially jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu in general, I mean, there's no animosity. I know we all have a laugh sometimes and we all talk about we're going to do this and we're going to do that, but there's never any animosity. We've all got respect for each other and we respect what each
Definitely.
other do.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. And then, obviously, we know that Aidan Stevens got a lot of MMA background. So, obviously, he's got his
Yeah.
grappling background as well. But as I said, obviously, predominantly known for his MMA. We've seen him grappling. So, you've seen fights of his. So,
Yeah.
you'll have seen a lot of videos. So, are you watching stuff that he's doing? Are you picking up videos? Or
I don't really tend to like once I've got a match, I won't watch any like my opponent's matches. But I've watched Aiden's fights in Cage Warriors and stuff like that. I really enjoy watching these fights in Cage Warriors, and I've seen him like a couple of times in person at SGI and stuff like that. He's really good, really good.
Yeah, yeah. So definitely promises to be a good fight. I mean, as I say, very, very similar guys. I know that both of you like to bring pressure. So obviously, when you watch you, I mean, you're always going for the finish. You're always
Yeah,
we've seen your SGIs, and you pulled off. I don't know, maybe half a dozen attempts before you get one. You're going from one
yeah.
submission to another to another. I think it was
That's
one we
just because
watched
my
you.
control's terrible.
No, there was one we watched you. I think you
Just
went
diving
for.
things.
Aye, but you went for an armbar, and then I think you went for the armbar to a triangle. I think you went from a triangle to an armbar, and then you went for a few different things, and eventually I can't even remember what you caught him with.
Yeah,
But as I say, it's that pressure from you. You're always going for the finish. You're always wanting
yeah,
to finish the fight, and you want to do it in nice fashion. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. I think that's what it's about, isn't it? You don't want to see. I'd rather like lose in an exciting match than win in a boring match. You
Yeah,
kind of want
yeah.
to always be pushing the pace, and that's kind of the way we train. So it just translates into competing.
Yeah, yeah. And you saw that as well. Aiden, anytime you've seen Aiden, I mean, one of the kind of ones that stick out to me was I think he's not his last fight in Cage Warriors, but the fight before that he won by decision. But it was the whole fight, the whole 3 rounds. He was just trying to submit the guy in different positions.
Yeah, it's had a few nice finishes on Cage Warriors. I was watching the other day actually the elbows for Mount as well. That looked really nasty. I
Yes,
think he's had
yes,
a nice Kimura as well.
yeah, yeah. And then we've got a question here. Aaron East, so one of MMA UK guys. So grappling has to be one of the most exhausting parts of MMA. So how do you train your lungs to take the pressure of those rounds, basically?
So you just need to hire Joe Glove to sit at the side and shout at you because it's absolutely terrifying, and you don't want to miss any rounds out when he's doing that.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
all
Joke
seriousness,
Love.
I think like shout out joke. I think
Yeah,
in all seriousness, like you just need to throw yourself in and do as much as you possibly can, and stick at it.
yeah, yeah. And that's one thing. I mean, anybody that does jujitsu, the more you're on the mat, the easier it gets. Not the easier, I don't mean that. The more you're on the mat, the
No,
better the gas tank is. So,
yeah, and then you just spend it more. So I don't think it ever gets any easier, and it's like I think everybody's always looking for kind of like a kind of quick solution to it. There's not any. It's just mat time.
yeah, yeah. And Joke Love's classes, Joke Love, anybody that's ever been to a Joke Love class, it's prison rules. So,
Part
prison
stand
rules
up
at Joke Love.
comedy, part excellent jiu-jitsu.
Yes, yes, absolutely brilliant classes at Joke Club. So, and then I mean, obviously for you, so as I say, this is we're now back open. We're now going to be competing properly. So, I mean, have you got things lined up going forward? Obviously, you want to concentrate on this one first, but what's the plan for you going forward, David?
So I've actually not got that much on. I think I've got Evolution of Combat, and then I'm going to go out and do ADCC trials just to see how that
Nice,
is. I don't
nice.
expect to do particularly well at trials, but I want to go out and give it a bash and see what the kind of general level's at and see where I need to be at some point.
Definitely. And you'll be in ADCC, so you'll be in the kind of higher bracket now then, being a purple belt. So you're not in with the brown and the black belts?
I've not really got too much of a clue how it works. It'll be in the advanced, yeah, so it'll be the higher level, but I'm doing under 76 now as well because I like getting fat. I'm enjoying the fat life too much to go back down to under 70.
Nice. Nice. And then obviously Evolution of Combat coming up. So you've been on it before. You were on, I believe, was it 7 or 6 you were on?
I'm not sure. I think it was the last one, so that would have been 7, wouldn't it?
So it would have been 7. So obviously at that point,
it was the one during the pandemic.
Yeah, so there was no spectators at that one, which was a bit bizarre, obviously having no spectators there, so you were able to hear everything that was going on. So what's going to be the difference this time, having people there watching?
I don't really think it affects me too much. I think like the pressure of like competition is always the same. There's normally, you know what I mean, if you do like a gi competition, there's a lot of people standing watching. SGI, it's kind of the same. So I actually thought the last time it was a wee bit weird without the crowd. Like you could just hear everything so much clearer. You can hear the commentators talking at the side and stuff like that as well. It was cool though. Yeah. That's probably one of my favourite competitions I've ever done.
Definitely. I'd say it was a bit of a bizarre situation because anybody that was kind of watching anybody that watched the videos and stuff like that, you were able to hear everything, as you said, commentators, and you were able to hear your corner, which doesn't really happen a lot when you're certainly doing competitions and stuff like that, because it's difficult sometimes to hear your corner shouting instructions. So, and what about yourself? You got a lot of guys going from or managing to get tickets from Lycans?
I think there's definitely a few going. I think there was a couple that missed out because I seen the day that they'd finished selling tickets, it was sold out. So I think there's a few folk who've missed the tickets, but there's definitely people going.
Yeah.
So it should be good. I don't know if there's a live stream this time as well. There's maybe a few folk who watch it.
Yeah. I think I'll check. I don't know. I've not seen anything coming up, so we'll definitely check with Dan and see what Dan's got in regards to live stream. So hopefully we can get something up. But even if there's not a live stream, I mean, people always record the fights anyway, so you'll always be able to see whoever you're following or who you're watching anyway. So, and then obviously Lycans, what kind of classes? Because I know you're one of the coaches there. So what kind of classes is on offer at Lycans throughout the week?
So we've got classes on just about every night. I think we've just started the beginners course. It's on a Tuesday and a Thursday at 6 p.m. Every other night we're training. Most of the time we're in for 4 o'clock rolling, and then we'll have a class at 5, then a class at 6. And the weekends are normally like 10 a.m.
Yeah. And then what about the beginners? Because I know that you do, obviously you've got the beginners class on, so can people still come in and join the beginners class, or what's the situation there?
It's just started, but if anybody wants to jump on, they're more than welcome to kind of jump on. We're doing it like different positions, so you wouldn't miss too much. We're kind of switching like each week. Yeah.
And then what about contacting Lycans? So how do people get in contact with you guys if they want to kind of speak to you?
The best way is probably through the Facebook page, but the website's quite up to date as well. If you go on the website, you can send us an email, or if you get the number off the website, that'll be my phone, so you can just give us a bell if you want to get in touch.
Nice one. And then last thing for you then, David, anybody you want to thank? So any kind of people that you train with? I know that the list's quite long. It's not that long because obviously you guys are. Yeah, you guys are quite close down in Kelly. So, but yeah, anybody you want to thank at all?
So just quickly off the top of my head, I don't know if I'll miss anybody, so I'm sorry if I miss anybody. Marcus Nardini, of course. Joe Love, Shawnee Stewart, Jack Brown, Mark McQueen. I was going to miss out Gav, but I won't. I'm feeling kind tonight, so I'll add Gav McQueen in as well. Yeah. And Karen Cuthbert. And that's us. Perfect. That'll do.
Yeah. One thing I forgot to ask, because I asked this about Gavin. We were talking about Gavin. You mentioned Gavin there. So who's Gavin going to cheer for on Saturday?
I think Gavin might be injured. He might not even be able to make it along. He's got a track history of getting injured just now.
Right. I did ask him, but he never gave me an answer. So...
he injured his back brushing his teeth. He was spitting the toothpaste out and he pulled a muscle in his back. That's a true story.
Yeah, no, listen, I believe it. I definitely believe it. You know, and I know what he's like. So, but no, listen, Sharpie, absolute honour to speak to you again, as always. I'm definitely planning on getting down to you guys at some point. It's been a while. It's been a long time. But no, looking forward to obviously you and Aidan on Saturday. It's going to be an absolute brilliant fight to watch. As I say, two top level guys, as I said, at the top of their game. So both of them love to bring the pressure. So anybody that is going to be at the venue, definitely watch out for this fight. I don't know where you guys are in the pecking order, where you are in the fight order.
I think we might be first.
Right, okay, so
getting nice early means we can enjoy the rest of the show after it.
Yeah, so the doors open, I believe. I don't know if the doors open at 3 or event kicks off at 3, but yeah, as I said, everybody be there for 3 o'clock. Get in as soon as you can. If you guys are the first fight of the night, then as I said, it's going to set the whole night up absolutely brilliant with a spectacular grappling match to start with. So, Sharpie, thank you again, buddy. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you, mate.
Thanks for your time, mate.
All right, take it easy, mate. Bye-bye.
Perfect. Cheers.